This is a horror fan's fever dream. Let's look into Evil Dead Rise. So Evil Dead Rise is the next installment or the next chapter into the Evil Dead franchise, and funny enough, it's produced by Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi. So in this movie, we follow a single mother of 3 kids and her sister who is visiting in an apartment complex where the kids discover a copy of the Book of the Dead, which they unfortunately unleash a demon that possesses their mother, and all hell breaks loose. Now look, I know we're only in April at the moment, but I gotta tell you, this is hands down probably my favorite horror movie of this year, especially with some of the other horror movies that we've had released that have come out and some other horror movies that I have reviewed. But my god, like, as soon as, you know, the title scrolls up, like, this movie just puts you in the driver's seat within the first 5 minutes of the movie. I'll tell you what though, what I'm gonna say though is Alyssa Sutherland's in this movie, like playing the possessed mother in this movie. My god, like, she is just so creepy and unnerving, and like there are times where, you know, like, it is just probably like the best character I've seen in a horror movie that's been possessed by a demon or some kind of supernatural creature. And my god, like, it's just insane how the kids in this movie are great as well, but they just don't have nightmares after filming these films. Like, it's just so unnerving and just such an unhinged character that it's like just got that Evil Dead flavor that you know and love. Now, Lily Sullivan in this movie as well, like, honestly, like, she was really great in this movie as well. I did like her as, like, the lead protagonist involved in this horror movie, and especially as well, but her being the auntie who was visiting to, like, help and save these 3 kids that pretty much don't even have their mother anymore. It's just such a great performance from her, and I just absolutely loved, you know, just you know, the violence that she produces from this character. Now, speaking of violence, now when it comes to horror movies, like, there are certain selected people who love certain selected horror movies. Like, you got the ones that like the jump scares, you got the ones that like the blood and gore, you got the ones that like a mixture of both. But I gotta tell you, in this movie, it just got everything in it, and that's what I mean, like, when this is a horror movie fan's, you know, fever dream. Like, it's got everything in it. Like, it's got jump scares, it's got blood and guts, it's got, you know, like, horror elements into it, and the soundtrack in it as well. Like, it's just got that Evil Dead flavor soundtrack that we love, but it's just so eerie and unnerving. And especially as well, I picked a cinema where, like, the sound quality was just built to 11 and it's just blaring, but like, it just works for this film. And I gotta tell you as well, what I do like about this version, well, this particular entry into the Evil Dead movies is that you don't even have to watch the previous Evil Dead movies. Like, I've only seen Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and the remake of Evil Dead, and a bit of Ash vs. Evil Dead, but when you're watching this film series, it is a bit odd because, like, you don't really have to watch some of the previous movies to watch other previous movies, and especially in this movie as well, it definitely does work as like a standalone movie. And what I like about it as well, like, it does feel like that you can be able to take your friends, take your mates who are horror fans, you know, to this movie and just show them a really good time. And that's the thing with, like, the blood and guts and gore involved in this movie. Like, you got a lot of things that are just happening in this movie. And like I said, it just puts you on the edge of your seat. Like, I mean, you know, you got tons of blood, you know, you got tons of guts, you got really creepy and unhinged moments that just gives you a lot of shock value. And that's what's really great about this film. And look, just to keep in mind too as well, this movie's only like around an hour and a half to like an hour and 40 minutes long. And honestly, I feel like it doesn't have to be even longer than that. Like it could have been even broken down a little bit shorter, like, and it'd still be great. Like, I feel like just the whole entire runtime, you know, with everything that I needed to put in this movie, like, it just works so perfectly. And honestly, you know, like, it's just a perfect, you know, 90 minutes to like an hour and 40 minutes movie that, you know, you can just watch and just, you know, really enjoy. Now, overall with this movie, like I said, like, I feel like the performance was just really great in it. Like, this movie just, as soon as that title appears on the screen, like, you're just immediately hooked into the film. And just the whole idea of, you know, like a possessed demon person, you know, involved in an apartment complex, it's just such a brilliant idea. And I honestly really enjoyed watching this film, and for this movie, I feel like it's definitely a movie you need to watch in the cinemas, and it's a movie I'm going to own on Blu-ray or 4K. But what did you guys think of Evil Dead Rise? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow my socials up here as well, and as always, as I say at the end of these videos, get me some goddamn M&Ms.
Miss Hoover, the movie's over.
Down in front!